G'day guys, Clint Adams here, recording episode number 30 of The Full Landscape. I've got Jarrad and Luke from Adelaide and Hills Lawns and Gardens. They currently run a business with 30 staff based in the Adelaide Hills. In this episode, we're going to talk about how they've grown the company, that they've grown to the size that it is, some tips and tricks for beginners around, I guess, vehicles that they want to be using and tools that they want to be using and software that they want to be using. And the importance of understanding the difference between, I guess, your skill sets if you're going to go into a partnership, which is a real big one for me, and I've spoken a lot about partnerships. So sit back, relax, hope you enjoy this one.
Y'all ready to turn it up tonight? If you really want to fly, your hands in the air, let the music.
So, to get started, I guess if you guys can introduce yourselves and then go into, I guess, what Adelaide and Hills Lawns and Gardens is about, and what you're currently doing, and how it got to here and how the partnership kind of came about.
Sure. Do you want to take it away?
You got.
Cool. I'm Jarrad. So I basically started Adelaide Hills Lawns and Gardens in 2013. I was working for a fellow who had a VIP round, Matt Thomas. He's now got Stringy Bark Landscaping.
Yeah, okay.
So he's kicking some serious goals. I think for me the reason I started it was just wanting to stretch the mind a little bit more and take on the challenge of doing something different, getting out of my comfort zone. So
As in, rather than working for someone.
yeah, it was good working for him. I got a little bit fed up at times. We become really good mates, and I think we probably started clashing a couple of little things, and I just thought, fuck it, I reckon I can go out and do this on my own. And
Yep.
I learnt a heap from him, which was good. Not sure he was overly impressed, but he was really supportive of me.
It's hard. Yeah, you want a staff member that's good enough to leave, but they don't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So,
And you were just on that edge of good enough to leave, and then you didn't.
yeah, but he was really good. He gave me, sort of 2 or 3 days work a week whilst I was sort of setting up and all of that. So yeah, that was
As in
really
working
cool.
still for him as a landscaper.
Yeah, just doing the maintenance stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So and then I sort of started picking up a few clients as I went, and then I think we just had a chat and said probably time to part ways now.
Yep.
So that was real handy that he sort of let me do that.
So do you still contract to him, or has he got a...
Nah, he's doing he's done a bit of hydro seeding stuff for us.
Yep.
Um,
Has he got his own machine?
yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
So he's a gun. But yeah, he's doing a lot more bigger landscaping stuff now. And he's still got his maintenance crew as well, so he runs a really tight ship. Knows what he's doing. So
Okay, so he's got a full-time maintenance crew as well. So you guys you weren't going to be doing that work.
no, I'm not doing that for him. But yeah, it's real good to see how well he's gone, and
Yeah.
his landscaping stuff's awesome. So
And to know that he didn't need you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And his success
I think that
wasn't
was
tied to
apparent
Jarrad.
right from the start. But no, he gave me a seriously good opportunity, and it's helped get us where we are today, I guess.
Right.
But yeah,
And then Luke came on board. Well, you better introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my background was a bit different to Jarrad's. I was at uni, and then I think it was the second year of uni, started working with Jarrad just through the summer holidays, I reckon. And then was going to go back to uni. He said, how about sticking around working? I actually liked it, so I thought, yeah, bugger it, we'll do it. I don't know what I was thinking, dropping out of uni to go and mow lawns, but yeah.
What were you doing at uni?
Aerospace and mechanical engineering.
Jesus, dude.
So it's a bit different, yeah.
The lawn's
So-
about as far away as you get from aerospace.
Correct, yeah.
he was
So
going nowhere.
Yeah.
copped a few, a bit of grief from everyone.
Were
but-
you going to do okay at uni? Like, were you on track to finish?
Yeah, I would have finished. I just didn't like didn't really like I liked the course, just didn't like the lifestyle, I think.
And then would you have got a job?
I would have to go either overseas or
Yeah.
Eastern States.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know
Mm.
that. Snippets. So you were at uni, did some work experience.
Just summer holidays
Just
for
work.
uni, yeah, working with Jarrad, and we just got along real well. I liked the actual physical side of it as well, earning a bit of money too, so.
Yep.
And just stayed on, went from there really. Mm.
Yeah, earning money is definitely...
I-
I was similar. I left school because I had a job, and I was like, hang on, so I could go to school
Yeah,
and not get paid, or go get a job and get paid. I
exactly.
didn't really think about it more than that. It was just
Yeah.
like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So
And-
at the time you were an employee.
Yep.
And then now you guys are in a partnership.
Correct.
Yeah, how long was that?
So that was 2013, summer of 2013. I started with you, just as a casual, nothing special.
And how big was the business then?
Literally just Jarrad.
Just us two, yeah, a few clients. We had an opportunity, well, I did at the time, to acquire another sort of lawn mowing, gardening around.
Yep. So you
up
buy
in the
that
hills.
for the multiplier and
Yeah.
all that jazz.
And I just sort of said to Luke, look, I've got this opportunity to buy a client list, which will literally double our business overnight. But I'm going to need someone. I'm going to need a bit of commitment. Whether or not you want to leave uni, it's your decision. But
Yep.
I sort of nudged him in the right direction. But
Took some arm.
yeah, and then so he's like, bugger it, I'll put uni off for a year or two and see how we go.
Oh no.
I
I wonder what the odds are of people that take a year off uni and go back.
Yeah,
That'd be a good start.
Like 10%?
Yeah.
wouldn't
yeah.
be many, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah.
But and we just sort of went nuts from there. And then I think I probably realised that I was really shit with a lot of parts of business.
Yep.
Just the numbers, the financials, all that sort of stuff. I was a bit reckless. And I sort of started leaning on Luke a little bit, asking advice and questions, and he's got a real good brain for shit like that.
Well, for anything, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
I mean, getting into that,
He's
uni degree
twice
would have
as
been
smart
hard.
as me, which is not too hard, but
It's like a backhanded compliment.
yeah. But then I think we just started realising that we work real well together, and I guess I probably look back to my situation when I left working for Tomo. I just thought, this guy's a gun. If I lose him, I'm going to have to try and replace him, and it's hard to find someone who cares about what you're doing as much as someone like him.
Yep.
What did we do? Went through...
Yeah, we had a little awkward phase there where I was subcontracting to Jarrad under his name. I bought some clients off him. It was a weird little period, but it was sort of how we thought it would best work at the time.
So you
to
were
manage
both
it.
individual companies or sole traders?
I was just,
or whatever?
we were just sole
But
traders.
you had your own businesses, so it was easy to walk away at any point and not have have to dissolve a company.
Yeah.
It's like, well, all right, dude, it didn't work. You go back to uni. I'll buy your customer base back off you or whatever, and or you will have worked it out by then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what our game plan was, to be honest.
Well, it doesn't. You don't need to have one, I don't think, and that's the beauty of it. I hear so many people talk about these business plans for the next 3 to 5 years, and you imagine like looking back from 13 to now. Yeah, like you didn't know that.
Yeah,
you didn't know what you were going to do at the end of that year. You were going to go back to uni, so
yeah.
I think it's good to have that general direction, but to be flexible on the path that you take, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So eventually, then you had to become a partnership. It was just getting too stupid.
It was just a bit messy, and like Luke would do his jobs, and then the agreement was when he's finished his own clients, then he'd come and help me. It just became messy, and he had a little firewood hustle on the side, which he probably was making more money, so then he'd rather do that than come and help me.
Yeah.
And we were just like, shit, why don't we just go into partnership?
Is the firewood hustle still part of the business?
Not as much as what it was back then. Yeah.
So you guys were like mowing lawns and then selling firewood.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And just delivering it, like harvesting it from wherever. And then
So my parents have got a bit of land up in the hills there, so we were just cutting it off there and flogging it off. So buy the old man a carton of beer here and there to keep him happy.
I don't care, whatever.
He got his winter's firewood.
There'd be
happy
so
days.
much of that going on.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm asking because of railways. I'm like, where are you getting this from?
Yeah, exactly. It's a rarity now.
In my market?
You don't have to worry about it.
So then there were two of you, and then I guess tell me about the years that followed. So that was 13, I'm guessing, into 14.
Yep.
And now we're at 20 nearly. So 6 years. What were your staff numbers like from like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Like what was the growth phase? Like, do you know what I mean? Like was it 5, 10, 18 kind of thing?
We were probably, I think the partnership was 2015.
Yep.
We formed the partnership.
Yep.
Late.
So trading as a partnership or formed a company as partners?
Company and partnership trusts.
Yep, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So we had a young lad, Elmo, jumped on board. We had a couple of casuals throughout. I reckon by 2016 we had 4 of us probably.
Yep.
And then we got to a point where I think we wanted to take the next step and get a gun on, but we just still didn't know exactly how big we were going to go or what was going to happen.
Yep.
We put a few feelers out for like an experienced fella. I reckon we maybe had a couple more fellas join as well.
Yep, we would have been up to about 6 by the time.
Yeah, and then we had a good mate of mine from years ago. He worked at Adelaide Shores PAC and had his own VIP round years ago. I sort of rung him asking if he knew of anyone that might be interested.
Yep.
With a little
Yeah.
elbow in the side.
Like you?
Yeah, wink, wink, yeah.
Yeah.
And he took
Yep.
the bait, which was great. And he's like, what about me? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, sweet.
That's not at all what I was thinking, but
Yeah,
yeah.
good idea.
You're a smart man. So when's this, like 17?
Yeah, I reckon pretty late 2017,
Yeah.
George, yeah.
Yep.
And
he still works with you?
Yeah,
Yep.
so he's an absolute jet. He just
Yep.
knows everything.
Well, because he ran his own business.
Yeah, so he's passionate and he just took it from, we started doing irrigation, we started doing lawn renos,
Yep.
shit that we didn't even think of. We didn't have any machines for that work or anything like that. And it was just like all of a sudden we're offering these things. He's doing quotes with me and people are asking about paving. And he's like, shit, I know how to pave.
Yep.
So, it just sort of organically grew once we grabbed him.
Because you were just saying yes to everything.
Yeah, we were
Yep.
just like, fuck, we can do that
We can do that, we can do
make
that,
it
we can do
work.
Did you say yes too much?
Probably. We created a fair old mess for a
Yeah.
while.
Because learning to do all of that at the same time can be a dangerous game. I've been there. I remember what it was like saying yes to everything because you're just trying to maintain turnover, and you're like, well, if we say no to this, we might never have it again. And
Yeah.
Are you saying no more now, or are you still saying yes a lot?
We say no a lot now.
Yeah.
I think we're at the stage now where we're pretty particular with the
Like
types
that point's getting sharp, and you kind of like,
yeah,
this is what we're at our best.
This is where we are in the market, and same. We've got a bit of a no dickhead policy with sort of staff.
We've got
and
to get that
also
T-shirt
clients.
made. I did actually have the logo done for No Dicks Allowed,
Really?
but it's Dick Smith on a shirt with a thing through it. And I said to DK, we can't use that. Can you find me another dick? He's like, well, Moby Dick. I'm like, we can actually put a dick on there. I'm like, no, let's not do that. So that's still kind of in a pot stewing in my head. We'll whiteboard that a bit more, but we'll get you a shirt when that sorts out.
Yeah.
So at the end of that kind of 17 period, what would you have had 10 staff?
Nah, probably 5 or maybe 6.
6.
And then 18?
End of 18 was up to a dozen, I reckon.
now?
13? 30.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's its own. Well, we had lunch for people watching. We had lunch last week, and I'm not at 30 yet, but I'm kind of approaching 30. And we were talking about it's a very interesting number when you get to 30 staff. You kind of like you can't see each person each day. Like obviously through 17, you probably could have spoken to each of your 12 each day.
Yeah.
And then or 5, you definitely you're always talking to them all day because you've only got 5 people, and you're trying to keep the wheels of finance turning, and everyone's making enough money to make sure that you stay open. And then you kind of get to 12, and you're like, okay, this is different. And then you're 30, like, holy fuck, is this? Did we sign up for this?
Yeah.
Is there an intention to grow beyond that, or is it now about kind of profiting as much as you can from a 30-person business and doing the best quality work? And
we all along we keep saying, all right, we'll just consolidate. Like once we hit 5 staff, like we've got 2 setups going. We'll just consolidate this for a while, bank a bit of cash, and then see what happens.
Yep.
But we just keep growing. I think probably our mentality as well is we like the challenge of taking on new stuff and growing that side of it. So opportunities just keep presenting themselves, and it seems like the bigger you get, the better the opportunities become as well, and we just keep throwing ourselves at it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, provided that you're doing it well and you're doing it right, and the money in the account's staying the same or growing, and that you're, I guess, communicating with all stakeholders well, from your staff to your clients to your partners at home, and everyone's kind of getting the time that they need. Because obviously, I mean, we don't talk about it much here because I try to stay away from family and money when we're talking about podcasts. But there's obviously that whole, oh yeah, I'll see you in fucking 2022 when it's all settled, and it never does.
Yeah.
So obviously acquiring or employing 30 people, one of the biggest issues that I see in the landscape industry, and obviously in the gardening and maintenance industry, is finding and retaining high quality employees. It doesn't seem like you have much of an issue with finding good employees. What do you attribute that to? Is that, I mean, are you just advertising on Seek, and
I think
is Jarrad just really nice?
No.
Definitely not.
No, I think a big driving thing of me starting my own and getting a few employees was just base it on treat people well. If you be a good bloke, give people the right opportunity, look after them, and same with clients really. If you can charge that little bit extra if you doing the right thing and providing a great service. So we just want to create an environment where blokes or chicks can come to work, have a good day, get treated well, get paid for what they're doing, and go. And so I think a lot of it at the start was sort of friends of friends. Like Luke and I played cricket together.
Yep, and that's obviously a massive network. Like
yeah,
the sport. I mean, landscapers, it's generally footy.
Yeah,
there's some cricket pockets. Like I know Yardstick have got like 3 or 4 Redbacks players working for them or something.
Yeah.
But, there's pockets of different things, but I guess that obviously helps.
Yeah, so it was basically a lot of that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess people here.
But then you exhaust that, or are you now pulling from friends of your staff?
Yeah, so it started doing that, and then we got this fella George, who's jumped on board. He's sort of from Meadows up in the hills, so we've had probably 5 or 6 different Meadows lads come through, and then for different roles we've advertised on Seek, but we find you're interviewing 20 or 30 or 40 people, and half of them are just they need to apply for a job and they've got no skills, no interest. Yeah. So that's where it gets a bit hard.
When I do Seek ads, I'll generally only interview 2 people.
Yeah,
I'll be able to cull it down. I've gotten to a point now where I can read through them and go, no.
You can decipher.
Weirdly, I don't even know if I might, like we were joking about before, I probably missed Steven Spielberg's son for Trent's role because I didn't look at them. Like, there's a Seek ad at the moment for, obviously we spoke about it. I'm trying to hire landscapers for landscapers. There's 175 applicants in that pool, and I've looked at 5 and gone, I'm going to call those. I just know. Do you find that the employees that you're getting from the regional parts are better workers for the work that you require? Do they fit your culture better, or is there a difference? Like, I guess people talk about like farm lads that come down and fucking they just work. Like, is that a thing?
Got a few, haven't we?
Yeah, like they just
definitely
fucking work.
Basically like Luke.
Yeah.
He's a farm boy.
So where are you from originally?
In between Nan and Woodside there.
So it's mini farm.
It's
like semi-metro.
It's considered like
20 years ago it was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now it's like, oh yes, we've got a property in Nan.
Yeah, that's right.
Just off the new bit off Bald Hills Road.
Correct. Yeah. So, but same thing, just off the farm, and then we've got a couple of blokes that are in the same boat. And we're no good socially, but we can.
You don't need them to talk to people. Yeah.
Exactly.
They're going to love that. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are.
Shit shovelers.
They'll be like, I think he was talking about you, Macca.
Yeah. Correct.
So, obviously, growing that fast, you would have learnt a lot. I'm keen to hear a bit about, I guess, when we record these podcasts, I try to bring value to the people that are listening, and a lot of the audience are guys that are in a similar place to you, but maybe only have 5 staff or don't do maintenance. So, what accounting package do you guys run, and are you happy with it?
0, yes.
0, love it?
Yeah.
And you got a good relationship with your accountant? Like, is your accountant then looking at that?
Our bookkeepers, so we've got an accountant and then bookkeepers separate as well.
Yep.
And they're unreal as far as that goes. We also run a software that plugs in with 0 called Jobber, which is all our scheduling. So obviously we've got a lot of different, we call them pods, like a ute and trailer out on the road, so to keep track of where they're at and their jobs and that sort of thing. So
are they being tracked GPS real time, or are they more just like, we just finished this, or we're just
so
tracking
all
time?
The jobs are logged into that software, they just complete it, generate the invoice, and then it can be sent from there. So,
Vehicle wise, what do you run? Like, are you Toyota first, or are you kind of just whatever kind of comes available, and you just, that's good, that's $5,000, we'll buy that?
No, we started with the Hiluxes and then went to the Tritons purely because they're a little bit cheaper, better, probably value for money.
It's funny when you were talking about people being willing to pay more. It's not about being more expensive; it's being better value. Because I look at that like what we do. We won't be the cheapest, and sometimes we are, and sometimes we aren't. And if we're more, it's 8% or 10%. It's not a big deal. But I think that what we bring to our client base way outweighs the cost difference, and I think that's probably the same 100%. For you guys. I look at Toyota like that. Yep. I guess I don't know how many vehicles you're running, but it gets to a point where if you're trading them in under 100,000, the Mitsubishi's kind of can handle it.
Correct. Yeah.
We had some Tritons, and they were just falling apart at 100,000 k. So I don't know if you had the same experience, or
we haven't got to that point yet. We've got probably 8 Tritons now and a few of the Hiluxes, but the Tritons are all reasonably new. We'll just roll them over.
Yep, and you buy them locally from
in the hills. Yep,
that's cool. Tools, obviously there's, I guess, and I'm not across it, but kind of like Husqvarna and Steel. Like, do you guys tend to run the same blowers and hedge trimmers? Have you got this like?
We do have a bit of a thing for that, So our ride-ons, we generally use the Walkers.
Yep.
Push mowers are the
A ride-on called a walker.
walker. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ironic.
Yeah.
Isn't
You
it?
guys probably haven't looked at it like that, but it's the first time I'm hearing it.
Yeah, correct. Our push mowers are all Hondas.
Yep. The self-propelled
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
They're almost too fast. I've walked behind one of them like, where are we going?
Really? Yeah, right. We're
Yeah.
always trying to beef them up a bit to get some more ground.
That might say a bit more.
Couple of modifications.
That says a bit about my health, I'd say.
Exactly. And then still generally is pretty much
Yeah.
a go-to. Apart from the Hedges, we used to use Shindawas, but they've stopped making the model we like, so Westbjorn.
So what happens there? You find a new one and,
Find an alternative, yeah.
and you just go through.
Just work through them. Tried Husky, we're on to Steel now, and yeah, see what happens.
Is hedging a big part of the business?
Massive.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yep. So those kind of cottage garden hedges for miles. Yeah. And I guess what's the tallest hedge that you have that you guys are working on? Like, and is that specialist work? Like one of you does it, or is it you've got a guy and
Most
I
of the
don't
guys
work at
are.
heights.
Yeah, Jared's.
you don't work at heights?
Yeah, he stands up
Couple
and he
of
gets
metres,
decent.
Yeah. So like can't tie stuff down in the trade.
Yeah,
But he's like 7 foot.
yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
Probably, I don't know, as far as the actual meterage. We do some
I've got a
3
big
metre.
platform
3
ladder.
and a half meters,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
platform ladder's pretty big.
Yeah.
3 meters or something.
Yeah, I think you can see the curvature of the earth from the top of that. It's like
It's pretty
Yeah.
sketchy
proper
out
massive,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you use a normal hedge trimmer for that, or do you have to get like extensions? And
Yeah, so just a like your steel combi tool with
Yep.
an extension pole and
Yep.
then the extension head trim on
seen
that.
some pretty interesting photos on Facebook of like lawnmowers attached to like cranes
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
swing that. One of the funniest things in New Zealand, we travelled through like I guess regional New Zealand, and all the farming, all the homesteads were hedged, like say that 100 metre squared, and there
Yep.
was 3 sides of hedges. And they had these massive, like, propeller tractor things that you just drove down the side of it, and the blades were just spinning at
So
the
that's
shape
yeah,
of the
actual
hedge.
like mowers that you cut hay with. They
Yeah,
just go
but
up
then
on the
there's-
side. And,
is that
yeah,
what it is?
Yeah, yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
yeah.
So, obviously, you guys have moved into tree work just recently.
Yeah.
Is that something that I guess will become a large percentage of the turnover? Like, are you like, obviously, I'm hearing like we've gone into paving, we've gone into this. I'm assuming you're not paving probably like you were with George back in 16, and it's more maintenance now, or is it?
No, we've got a full landscaping division now.
Yep.
So we went through, got the builder's license, all the rest of
Yep.
it. And that sort of grew from doing little,
So someone would say,
residential.
"Hey, can you fix that
Well,
driveway or
yeah.
that path?" And you're like, "Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that."
basically. And then we had a really good opportunity at Mount Lofty House. They recently built I think 14 6-star villas.
Yep.
Which
Is that even a
unreal.
thing? What's
Yeah,
the
I don't
6-star?
even understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
anyway,
That's
Um,
their thing.
yeah, and we had a good relationship with one of the owners of Mount
Yep.
Lofty House, and he was like, got me and George out for a walk through, and he's like, "Can you do this? Can you do stone walls?" And
Yep.
we're like,
Yep.
yeah, really good at that."
Yep.
And just no clue really what we were doing, but we were
Yep.
like,
Now that you've done the
we
job, you can
finished
say
and-
that on camera.
"Yeah,
exactly.
Sorry, Dave." But we just went straight away. Right, let's get on the phone and find some gun landscapers who are looking for work.
Yep.
Give them an opportunity. So we had a fella who had his own business. We were like, "We'll subby to you." A few weeks in, he's like, "I want in. I
Yep.
want to work for you guys. This is great."
Yep.
So he's now full time with us. One of our good mates has sort of jumped on board running the landscaping division. So yeah, it's grown just like that, just through chance and opportunity, and now they're kicking some serious goals. So with the trees, it was more so through our clients kept asking, "Do you do trees? You know, up in the hills there's so many."
Because
massive
I guess
trees."
you're hedging, so you are cutting.
Yeah.
You are cutting foliage.
Yeah,
Now can you cut?
and can
larger
remove
foliage.
and all that sort of crap. So we were like, "Shit, should we just bite the bullet and do it?"
And go buy a tree mulching
yeah.
truck.
So we bought
Truck and chipper, yeah.
truck and chipper. Yeah, that's right. I'll learn the lingo.
and a couple of good climbers, and got another fella now who's running that division. And then just yesterday we acquired another small tree lopping business. So
What surprised you about that? Like the acquiring thing, I want to talk about that separately. What I guess when you go into a new territory or you buy a new business, as I've done, there's shit that you're like, yep, this is pretty simple. You buy a truck and you put some stickers on it. What surprised you about going into the tree business that you weren't expecting? Is there anything that kind of caught you out and you're like, oh shit, I didn't think about that?
Obviously, the safety side of it's a bit more severe than just mowing a lawn.
Yep.
So we were pretty lucky. The fella that is running that division, he had quite a bit of experience in that.
Yep.
So there's quite a bit more to it than it's well over our heads. But yeah, we were lucky that he's all over it. What else as far as it wasn't?
I'm amazed at how good those guys, like the climbers, are fucking jets.
And they
They're
have
just-
to keep that fitness.
Yeah, and they're just goers. They like, you know, I get scared going up a ladder. But these guys are just
I've got someone that can help you
swinging
with that.
around everywhere, and
Yeah.
like, they're just unreal at what they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just brilliant. So I don't know. I guess for me, I've been out on a few of the jobs and just seeing what they can actually do is pretty awesome. Yeah.
So you just said you acquired a business or a tree lopping business. We spoke about that at lunch. I wasn't sure what stage that was at. I didn't want to bring it up without knowing that it's kind of public knowledge now. So you now have a bigger customer base than you once did.
Yeah.
So what's the go there? You basically grab another company, run it through the AHLG filter, and spit out a more something company, like more in line with what you guys are trying to do. And
Basically, yeah. So we were obviously just trying to grow it organically through a bit of advertising and that sort of thing. And then the opportunity come up. It's basically just a client list that we purchased.
Yep.
He's got a lot of repeat clientele
Yep.
and that sort of thing. A lot of big
and that
properties,
guy,
so-
I guess his brain.
Exactly.
Partially, yeah.
Which is a huge part of it for
Yep.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So how many businesses have you like? Obviously, you bought the mowing round and the tree lopping. Is that it?
There's another one.
What?
Paris.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
another sort of lawn and garden
Yeah.
business around Stirling area.
So kind of
mainly.
micro businesses,
Yeah.
one man band.
There's another slashing one that we bought
Oh,
as well.
that's
Yeah.
The
cracking,
Sherpa. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're buying the plant and equipment, the customer list, and the IP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is any business.
Yeah.
Did they all look the same? Like, did you start? Are you getting better at that? Like from experience? And
definitely.
Yep.
We've learned that once we get a hold of it, you know, a lot of people go out of business. I think, especially in the maintenance industry, because they're so cheap.
Yep.
And they're too afraid to ask for more money.
Yep.
And then you just can't live like that.
No.
I was like that at the start. I sort of priced myself where I thought was fair and in the middle sort of bracket. You just can't live. You know, with all your running costs, overheads, all that.
Yep.
It's like, fuck, what am I doing here? I'm banging my head against the wall. So I think, yeah, some of these guys we've acquired, they're just really cheap, and so you probably lose maybe 30 or 40% of the
Okay.
clients,
So
even
that's been consistent. Like, when the new owners, December 1st, it's now $60 an hour. We can't do it for 40 anymore. And then your clients are like, oh no, well, I'm
Yeah.
not paying that. And then you drop them. It's this very pumpkin plan, actually. Have you read that?
No, I haven't.
The pumpkin plan?
Yeah.
You might have
No.
that.
It's
No.
very much that. So my 12 immutable laws came off the back of the pumpkin plan. The pumpkin plan, I guess the blurb of it is find your best clients and look after them like crazy and cut off all the small pumpkins. So those pumpkins that you've cut off are the $40 an hour clients, like whatever
Yeah.
number it is. And now you've got these $60 an hour clients, and then you are now free because the guy that you've hired is not stressed, so he's doing the better work, and then those $60 clients start talking to other $60 clients, and then you've got more $60 clients, and then you might cut off some 60s and start 70s, and it's just about feeding the things that are working. And I don't.
Sorry, a very similar theory as well, which is just A, B, and C.
Yeah,
grade.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And look, we have every business has their own. I mean, we've got that triangle of happiness where
Yep.
I've talked about kind of like you can be. And we had a meeting with my accountant this morning, and he talked about something similar. Like if you've got, you can have 5 points for like price, service, and quality, and you can only allocate 10 points through those three categories. Like, what are you going to be for price? Will you be 2 or 3, and then quality and service will be 5 and 5. And I think our businesses are quite similar in that we try to have quality and service as 5s, and then I said 3.5 for price, maybe 4, because you can't be all. It's just stupid. And,
Yeah.
and I think you probably need to have 12 points allocated between those 15. But that triangle of happiness we had was that a client either needs to be a good human, pay us on time, or we make good money on them.
Yep.
So, and you want 2 of those. So if someone's paying you late, you really want to make sure they're a good dude and that you're making some money.
Yep.
Or they pay you on time and you don't make as much money, but they're a good dude, or they're an absolute fuckwit, but you make a fuckload of money on them,
Yeah.
and they pay you when they
Yeah,
take
exactly.
it. So
Yeah.
trying to get that, and if you get all 3 of those, they're your A.
Yeah.
If you get 2 of them, they're your B.
Yep.
And if you get 1 of them, they're your C.
100%.
Basically, how
C
we do it,
clients can
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's We've had to be a little bit brutal.
It
Just
feels so
because
good,
we
though. Like
keep
that
getting-
exhale after you fire those clients. It's just like,
Yeah,
and then
Yeah.
you're free, like mentally, to go do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you struggle with that, like with firing clients?
I don't
Jarrad-
like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
especially
Jarrad's such a
because
nice
Jarrad
guy.
start like a lot of these.
I'm in touch with my emotions.
Well, we had a
like a
podcast
bloody
yesterday, and he was
stone.
telling us how he cries in the shower. So
I'm
maybe
not
this
at that
room just
level,
brings
but-
it out. You should start. Apparently, everyone should be doing it. Everyone should be crying in the shower. So,
I think Jarrad had a lot of attachment to, especially early days with his clients. It literally built him up from.
well, they
nothing,
were
so-
they were the reason you had a business. still.
correct.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
a business you didn't obviously make much money in, but they were your clients.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and that's the hard part now as well. Is I used to be so big on building relationships with the client,
Yeah.
and now we're sort of off tools most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm less and less in touch.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where for us the biggest challenge is getting our guys to be doing those sorts of things.
Because you want them not just to be a hedge trimmers, but they're a business development manager and a hedge trimmer,
Yeah,
or a
and-
mowing guy and a business development.
yeah. So we're at the minute we're going through a big sort of shuffle around of the structure of the company, roles, and
Yep.
I guess levels. Or
I think at 30 you have to. I mean, I had a question written down here to kind of for you to describe me what your individual roles are and how that works, because partnerships do not work in my mind, and that's something that I want to explore a bit. So that you get with that exploring of all the roles, is there going to be some kind of training around client communication? Is that
Yeah.
is that something that's important?
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
So we've got this software Luke was talking about, Jobber,
Yep.
and it's just got some really cool tools in that to be able to take photos of the job, email it to the client through this thing.
I was going to say, can you tag the client into the jobs on that?
There is a client portal.
Yeah, we probably don't
Um,
use it to its full.
Because I said I've got a guy doing some work at my house. I'm like, I would love a message saying our guys will be there at this time. Is that
Yeah.
fine? And I can just click accept and it's done. I don't need a phone call. I don't need it, but at least it's all tracked in there. And then there's photos of, say, like how the hedge was trimmed last time, and you took a photo of it,
Yep.
and the client's like, I liked it like that. Do it like that every time. And then you hire a new guy and he just opens it up and goes,
And that's how they
easy,
want it.
man.
Yeah.
That's cool, because then the client sees it, and obviously for new landscapes, here's the plans, here's communication. We can't get that stone. These are the samples, and you can yep. Like, I think
Yeah.
that would be unbelievable. I didn't know if
Yeah.
an app existed for it. So
Yeah, it's cool. And then we work on massive properties, so and a lot
geographically,
of our clients,
like
like huge properties and sort of extensive gardens, and a lot of our clients are really busy people, so they can't always get home and see exactly what we've done.
Yep.
So just things like taking a photo of this area and write them a note to say, look, just to let you know, this is what we did today.
Yep.
Here's before and after, and
Yep.
just so they know, shit, these guys know what they're doing.
Yep.
They're busy. How good.
Yep.
Um,
well, it gives them an opportunity to ask you to do something like, oh, dude, I didn't really want that. Can you fix that?
yeah.
While you're still there, rather than you getting a call at 6 o'clock at night, like, hey, I've just got home. What's going on with this? That was not how I meant for it to happen, and you've got to go back there and deal with it, or
yeah.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's an over communication issue in any of that.
Yeah.
If it's your house and these guys are working there, there would be no amount of information that would be too much for me. I'd be like, cool,
Yeah.
thanks for the 400 photos. Like, I'm not going to look at all of them, but
Yeah.
it,
At least I know.
it shows me that you guys cared enough to do it. And so, so what's at the moment? Is there no structure underneath you guys? Like, well, there is, but it's just loose.
It's loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've
So
got
we're
our
changing.
general leaders, haven't we?
So we've sort of got division leaders and then some leaders.
And a division
within
is like maintenance,
maintenance,
trees,
Yep.
landscaping.
Yep.
Okay, and that's it.
there's commercial and
Slash.
residential
Yep.
maintenance, and then we've started like a turf and irrigation crew,
Yep.
which I guess is a
Yeah.
different division.
Subdivisions. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
even that in the way you said that. Like, I guess, like, how are your guys?
Yeah,
supposed
so-
to, if you don't know, like, how are your guys
Yeah.
supposed to know?
Yeah, and that's where it is a little bit messy because it's grown so much in probably
Oh, you're
what,
preaching
12,
to the
18
choir, man.
months.
I
Yeah,
have
it's
like none of that.
yeah,
It's hard to find balance between when you're growing rapidly to make enough money to keep growing rapidly, and then still tick all those, I guess, policy procedural boxes and
Definitely.
like org charts and all the shit banks want when you need money.
yeah.
So, what do you have a business card?
Yep.
What's your title on your business card?
Director.
Director, maybe.
Same.
Yeah.
So, if you had a position description, what would your position be within the business? Just like, do you know? I guess
Yeah, I
can
hate
you
all
see
that
where I'm
crap.
going?
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
No, fuck that stuff. I don't have it either. But like, look, I take care of business development and social, and my admin takes care of the kind of more accounting and stuff, you know, it sounds like rawly people with numbers, or I don't know if that's fair.
It's
but
pretty fair, and it's more so Jarrad's skills are my weaknesses and vice versa. So, and also Jarrad's probably the main, as much as we're 50-50 in partnership, whatever, I still see Jarrad as the sort of leader sort of thing as well. And which,
okay, so he could be like a CEO of the company.
Correct.
If you got that stupid.
If you had to be,
Yeah, and then you've got a role in the business as a finance officer,
basically.
if that's fair.
Yeah.
I think Luke's probably more behind the scenes. He's a lot busier than me.
Well, you said to me something funny that you've got a client that said that they didn't know you were a partner. That you didn't have a partnership.
Yeah,
like,
and
which
is
interesting.
It was actually I caught up with Aaron from Outside Ideas, and he was the one. We've been doing work for those guys for a long time now, good few years, and a really good relationship with them. And he was like, "Fuck, I didn't even know you were in a partnership."
Yep.
So I guess that's a testament to Luke, who's happy to sort of be behind the scenes.
You don't need to have that. Yeah.
That is it. Start with why. How you got to. Basically, I'm the why guy. This is what we're doing. I'm going to grow and do that. And then Luke's the how guy, who sort of has to pull me back a bit and go, hang on a sec. For that to work, we've got to put this, and this
I've got
in
about
place.
6 how guys.
It's basically we've got.
I call them babysitters.
Yeah.
To stop me from doing stupid shit.
We've got Kylie in the office now, and I think she's sort of like, calm down a bit, Jarrad. Like, you know, which is great because it's sometimes I do need to slow down and whatever, but we've got sort of, you know, between you two, George, Clint, everyone sort of.
You've got a Clint.
Holds me back. Yeah, we've got a Clint.
It'd be the best.
Not really. No.
What's in a name? Where was I going? So I guess they're your loose job roles. If you this is something that I was thinking of before. I guess what would be a piece of advice that you would give to people that are looking to be employed in your company, like, or a piece of advice for employees that potentially are working in the maintenance world?
I reckon as far as if they're applying for a job?
If they're applying for a job, or even if they work somewhere else. So like for me, it would be like, you know, for here, don't underestimate what getting to work 10 minutes early means to a director, or just that kind of shit. Like some tips for people that are employees of your company, because you can't actually go say these to these guys, but this is just general advice. Or like, you know, staying back and getting the job done means a lot to us. Or, you know, pissing on a fence in a backyard is not really ideal for the image of our business. Whatever it is.
I think you're all over this.
You're like,
For
here you go.
us,
I don't know. You work it out.
Yeah,
correct.
For us, it's just be a bloody good person.
Yep.
If you're a good bloke or a good chick or whatever, and you work hard, you're willing to learn.
Yep.
You know, we'll definitely look after you.
Yep.
So it's sort of, we're big on that, the trust thing, and you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. I think you know, we're not fucking rocket scientists here. We're mowing lawns, we're trimming hedges, slapping a few pavers down.
Yep.
We know it's not solving the world's problems, so at least be a good bloke, enjoy what you're doing. We'll make it as enjoyable for you. You know, I don't know. It's probably not answering your question very well.
No, there's no
just be a
wrong
good
answer
person.
for this. Yeah, I was just curious. I think that imagine someone was applying for a job to work for you guys, and they started Googling you. This podcast's going to pop up, so they're going to watch it and be like, okay, cool. So if I'm smart, I'm going to tailor my application more in line with that answer rather than put all my certificates in there.
Exactly. We had a fella who applied, started last year, or was it started this year? And he basically sent us a message and just said, look, I've got no bugger all experience, no qualifications, no nothing. I just know I love it. Yep. Can we meet up? And we're like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I've got a few of them for this job. Emails like, no resume.
Yep. And same thing, even with a resume, we hardly look at it, just see, oh yeah, they've got a bit of experience, whatever, they got the Cert 3, and then the cover letter, read that, and you can soon tell
that
sort of how
the thing that fucks me off the most is generic cover letters.
Yeah.
Don't put one in.
Just
don't do it.
Exactly, yeah.
Just put your resume in if you're not going to write a cover letter. Like, you know, there's good ones when it's like, I looked at your YouTube channel and the value like 10 really resonated. I mean, I put in our Seek ad, check out our fucking 12 immutable laws.
Yeah.
You know, and then if someone actually does it and references that, like, even if they don't, I mean, don't lie, but it just puts you way above.
Correct.
I think you did some funny stuff in yours. Like, well, I know you did some funny stuff in yours, but the no dicks allowed.
Yep.
I'll show you guys after. We've got to get that up on the social. Anyway, and then I guess the next thing for me would be like, do you have any advice for, I guess, the younger you, like, say, I'm going to say uni age, like that 18, 19, like, looking back now, what would you say to yourself, knowing what you know now?
Stay in uni.
Knuckle down at school so you can get to uni.
Yeah, because then you could possibly do what is rocket science.
Very good.
You're like, this isn't rocket science.
I'll be
He's like,
pushing a mower.
I gave up rocket science for this.
It'll be worth it one day for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
and look, I don't. From what I can gather, it's not about money. Like,
Nah.
you wanted to be happy.
Yeah.
And you probably would have made more money doing that, but you might have. Who knows what those sliding doors moments are where you had to move to fucking Europe and
Exactly.
you know you didn't get to spend time with a family member, and then they passed, and you were like, oh shit, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like you never know. Like
Yeah.
you've done what you did. You get to stay close to, I guess, what's important. You both live up in the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was your advice? Is get out of school quickly.
No, mine would be knuckle down at school so
Yeah.
you can get into uni. But no, probably. Oh shit.
Well, I mean, you've got kids. Do you want you want your kids to go to uni? Do you care?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I want them to do whatever makes them happy.
Yeah.
I'm not the smartest cookie around, but I've found something that I'm actually passionate about.
Yep.
And it's probably not our industry or pushing a mower, but
Business.
it's this business and the group of guys and girls that we've got working.
Yep.
So I think just finding what you enjoy doing. I can't think of anything worse than going to a 9-to-5 job that you don't like,
Yep.
that you can't stand talking about, and being with people you don't enjoy being around. So
Yeah.
for me, it's find something that tickles your fancy, and then you never know what can happen in it. I was sort of half told by some people, some close to me as well, not to go into business or just be very careful because how you're going to get it off the ground
Which
and
is
things like that.
Their negative experience, not yours.
Exactly, and
I hate that.
you're listening to people. Well, you've got the option to either listen to these people that haven't done it,
Yeah.
or
Who know everything about it.
or you can learn from books and other different things that you follow other people and you think, shit, well, they've just had a crack, so maybe they're the people I'll listen to. So yeah, I'm just happy that I didn't listen. I blocked a lot of stuff out and just gave it a crack. If it didn't work, you get a job elsewhere and start again.
It's Australia,
So-
man. You don't even need to get a job and get the doll.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what I was going to say as well. Is just don't listen to people. I think deep down I knew I didn't want to do uni, but I was just listening to parents, friends, whatever, saying, you got to do that. And then same with a lot of decisions we've made in the business was against the general flow of what people thought. And it has some, obviously we stuffed up, whatever, but the majority, I think, deep down sort of we knew what was
Yep.
right and backing ourselves in, I think.
There's a quote from a guy called Matt Higgins who's connected with Gary Vee. I think he might be the CEO. He was on Shark Tank, and then he does some public speaking. And he said, "Don't outsource your judgment," which has been a massive one for me, to the point where I'm probably going to get it tattooed on me, because it's like, for so long I listened to other people's opinions about what I should be doing.
Yep.
Now, I still think there's a lot of value in listening to other people's opinions about what you should be doing, especially if you pay them $400 plus an hour to give you an opinion, but you still need to make the decision that's right for you. And like you just said, you might have made some wrong decisions, but they were your decisions, so it's much easier to sleep at night knowing that you fucked up rather than you fucked up because someone told
someone
you to
else's.
do it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think there's good value in that. So the partnership thing, like I've pretty publicly talked about how I think partnerships are destined for failure, and the podcast we had yesterday with Reese, what did he have? 3 partnerships that had failed, and he's like, no more fucking partnerships. I guess, when do partnerships work and when do partnerships not work?
They work when your skills oppose each other, I
Yep.
reckon. If we were both doing the same things, like in early days we were both doing invoicing, we were both doing certain things, and we crossed over.
Yep.
Why hasn't this been done? Oh, I thought you were doing it. Whereas we worked out pretty quick that we had to separate those roles.
Yep.
Since then, it's just gone from strength to strength. We just check in with each other. How you going with this, that, be accountable, and then,
we get together and go, right, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to achieve, and then work out, right, well, your role's that, mine's this, let's touch base when we're done.
Yep.
I think, it's bloody amazing we're yet to have a fallout. We've probably not even really heated discussions. We get a bit moody every now and then, but you just know.
Well, you're
just either
operating
stay
a
out of the
business,
way
like,
or
if
razz him up.
you're a
And,
staff member, you're going to have those times.
Yeah.
Like,
so we just know what our role is and what our place is, and we just stay out of each other's way.
And so, what's the plan for the next, I don't know, decade? Like, do you guys have grand plans to move to another country, or like it's just operate this, make it the best business? And
Pretty much, yeah. We
don't know.
haven't thought too much yet. It's like you said, business plan is just if we had written it, it would have been out the window by now. So we just I think we do have some values that we sort of want to carry on, but it's never really spoken about. We just do it. I think.
It's not. I think a lot of people ask, like the first question people ask when you haven't seen them for a while, bloody hell, how many people you got working now?
Probably 15 inside my 30.
Yeah, we're not driven by numbers. Our guys.
So it wasn't an idea like once we've got 30 staff for the whole world, it was just like, fuck, we need more people.
Yeah,
no,
literally.
I thought early doors it was just going to be maybe 2 or 3 of us mowing lawns. So but these different opportunities come, and there's something about giving staff this opportunity to grow in a company.
I love
like
that.
This.
Like that's one that most directors don't actually. It's about like I need more people because I'm trying to make more money or whatever. But I'm on the same page. Like I feel committed that you need to give these guys like if they're going to give you their life, which they do, then you feel like you're obliged to give them something.
Yeah,
an opportunity in return. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So we're probably more driven by giving those guys. We want to pay people more, and that's the strategy now. Is how the hell can we generate a bit more profit to be able to share with the guys.
But your values are in line with that. So as much as your skill sets are complementary, your values are in line. Because if it wasn't, you could say, well, I'm good with numbers and I'm good with people, and you're like, yeah, but I don't want to give my staff anything.
Yeah.
Like, fuck them, their problem.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's not how it works, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is probably the best thing about it. We both know what we want. We don't have an end goal. It's just the process is...
Do you have a budget? Like, do you run a 12-month budget?
We started to.
Yeah, so you never had that?
Never did, no.
That changed. Like, I've always had a budget, and this is, I don't know, a hangover from working in an inventory-based business.
Yep.
So obviously, well, even at Domino's, like, we had budgets, daily budgets. I mean, I'm tracking sales here and at Railways daily to the point where I'm getting something written for here that I'll have them live tracking bank feeds. So our bank accounts will be live feeding into my app, and my sales will be live feeding into my app, graphed against expected turnover and like everything. So I'll just be able to open a screen from anywhere in the world and go, cool, and my anxiety's gone.
Yeah.
Or, oh, fuck, on the plane.
We always found it pretty hard purely because of the growth as well. Like, we sort of did rough figures and it just gets thrown out.
I was using an elastic budget, which is what I called it. It's just an Excel spreadsheet, but I'd punch in the GPs and the net profits that I was trying to achieve. Inventory is different, and I don't envy what you guys do. But if you can productize your offering a bit more, then you'll make more money, and especially if you can start doing subscription-based maintenance, which I'm sure you've got clients that are like every month. And you're like, cool, it's $200 a month. We're going to direct debit you on this day, and everything will just be taken care of. If you can get those, I'd be keen to develop it more. I don't have I could tell someone what I want it to do, but I couldn't sit down and do it.
Yeah.
So, and Kate might be the one for us to do that, where when you add a new staff member, you just plug that in, and then it pulls that wage across, and then it changes the expected. So your net profit or your bottom line profit has to stay the same. So then you're like, if we hire a new person, it has to be this.
Yeah.
And I know that there's numbers that say a large national irrigation and plumbing company might have used, say, where if you want to hire a new person, you need to be generating, I guess, 10 times their wage in turnover. So if you want to bring in a $50,000 a year employee, you need to have another $500,000 top line revenue to warrant that, because if that's plumbing, an irrigation company might be achieving a 45% gross profit on that 500, then that like 50 of that's gone, so there's 10, so there's 35 left, and then they've got their profit and all that.
And Jarrad's tuned out.
Sorry?
Yeah,
Jarrad's
it's all
tuned
over my
out.
head. I'm just staring at the wall.
Jarrad's like, la la la.
Trying to work out if it was a little spider or a fly. I don't know.
Straight
I
up.
think
So
it's just a dot.
that's fucking like, so that's gibberish to you.
Yeah, handball to Luke.
No shit.
Yeah. That's
having self-awareness around
so
that's
dumb
good,
it's
though.
unreal.
Because
With shit
I'm
like
so dumb it's unreal. That's for Instagram. Look, I think that's unfair to say that you're dumb. I think that you're
with stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Your knowledge is in other places, and that in business, I guess when you talk like that, it exposes a different part of it. But then you also, I've got guys here that do irrigation designs and pack orders and organise freight, and without that, the numbers don't occur.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I think it's good self-awareness. Don't be too hard on yourself.
It's only because he keeps reminding me.
Yeah, that's his next business card?
I've got to have something on him, yeah.
Dumb director. Because he's such a nice guy. So you have to.
He's got the social skills, yeah.
Yeah, and so you have to just be like, yeah, but you're an idiot.
Yeah. You have to peg him down every now and then.
That's hard. Is there anything that you guys want to plug at the moment? I think we've covered everything that I wanted to talk about. Trees. Like, where can people find your information? Is it all AHLG?
Yep, all our socials, AHLG Adelaide, website, ahlg.com.au.
Yep. Are you looking for work in any specific region as in is the tree thing you'd like people to be calling you about that? Like
definitely, yeah, or anything really.
Anything.
Maintenance, yeah, landscaping.
Adelaide and Hills.
Mm-hmm.
So, where does that end?
We haven't really scratched the surface in
Like
Metro.
West Terrace. That's Adelaide.
We've got a few out in Prospect and
Mainly
in the eastern suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The commercial boys go everywhere.
Commercial boys are all over the place. But
So you'll be maintaining. If you say for Outside Ideas example, you used that name before. If they've got a job wherever, like the maintenance contract, you'll just that's part
within
of the
reason. Yeah.
So not Port Lincoln.
No.
Yeah.
Is it good fishing there or something?
Yeah.
eh?
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work happening out there. You could probably cruise through Port Augusta and Whyalla and go all the way off to Port Lincoln and turn it into a week of fishing.
Send a couple of boys.
Well, you send the boys in the ute and you take the boat.
What a bit of go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right, that into your buddy.
That's right.
So, all right. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today, guys.
Appreciate it. Cheers,
Hope you had some fun.
Yeah,
No worries.